Hey there, so you're this finance enthusiast looking to pursue this exciting career in finance and accounting? You've come to the right place. So with me today is someone who's recently cleared his chartered accountancy, works for a company called Deloitte, and is here to answer all your questions about this career. Okay, so join me in welcoming Nikhil Gambhir. Hey Nikhil,
hey,
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
How early did you decide that CA is what you wanted to be?
So for me particularly, it was around 10th standard.
Okay.
I was pretty sure I don't want to do science as my subject, and with no creativity in me. Pretty early on I realized that I'm good with numbers, I'm good with analysis. Plus people at home used to call me chungar, which is basically meaning calculator.
Calculator, okay. Yeah. So you finished your schooling.
Yeah.
And then you joined a regular BCom College, is that how it was?
Yeah. So with CA, how it works is you can do it simultaneously with your BCom.
Okay.
But this is not the case in DU. Delhi University.
Oh, okay.
You can't do both the things simultaneously.
Oh, I see.
In 12th standard only I had registered for my first level.
Okay, so talking about this first level that you cleared, and what are the kinds of subjects that are there in this test?
So in the first level there are like 4 subjects: accounts, law, economics, and mathematics.
Okay.
So as far as accounts is concerned, it's very basic. It's something that what a commerce student would do in his 11th and 12th.
Okay.
If you look at it from the point of view of a science student,
right?
Yeah, he would need a little coaching for accounts.
But it is possible. You're saying that if somebody's done science in 11th and 12th, also with a little bit of effort, they can clear the first level exam.
So there are a lot of friends that I know that have done science and they shifted to this CA.
Okay. And how much in advance of that program, like how many months do you think they should be studying? For
level 1, that's the CPT. It's, I think so, not more than 1 month it's required.
So that's not bad. So that means really that the option is open to a science student or even a humanities student for that matter to take. So that's very interesting. Yeah. And you got material from the institute?
So when you enroll, when you register, the institute provides you the material, and there are like coaching classes for it.
Okay.
Where you can join, and they also provide you the material. For level 1 and level 2, I would recommend go with the coaching class material. These coaching classes for a CA student are really important, I think so.
Right.
You get to know about the subject, you get to know about the patterns, you get to learn about the experiences from the teachers.
Right.
But for a CA student, I think the major part is like they have their college life in that coaching class itself.
Okay, you go to college in the morning and you do classes in the evening and then you study in the night.
You should, but I didn't.
Okay. Okay, so you've done your level 1. You've joined your BCom. And what next?
So what next is we wait for the results.
Okay.
The results are out in like 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
When you clear, you go ahead, you register for the second level, get the material for that.
Okay.
And then the time gap that you have is 9 months between your CPT, that is the level 1, and your IPCC, that is the level 2.
Okay. So let me get this right. Say May or so after your May or June.
June I give the level 1, or June or December.
Okay, this is the year that you've just taken your 12th standard exams. You get the result in a few months, so let's say by August your result comes. Now you've got to wait for another 9 months. So going in your first year, literally towards the end of first year, sometime around April or May is when you take the IPCC, which is your level 2 exam.
Yeah. Both level 2 and level 3, they happen twice a year.
Right.
One is in May and one is in November.
Okay.
When you get your level 1 results, you register for level 2 with the institute. Okay. Then you choose your coaching classes.
Okay.
Which is a very important part.
Right.
Because you are going to be spending the whole day there. It's around 8 to 9 hours a day, every day.
Okay, so about 8 or 9 months you're doing this 8 or 9 hours a day.
Yeah, around 6 months of these classes and then 3 months of self-study.
Okay. Yeah. Now, looking at this IPCC exam, is there the 2 groups kind of stuff? How does that
So, there are around 7 subjects in level 2.
Right.
There are 4 subjects in the group 1 and 3 subjects in the group 2.
Okay.
So, what the institute says is you have to clear every subject, that is 40% marks in every subject and a 50% overall in a group.
In a group, okay. So did you do them together?
I didn't. I appeared for them separately.
Okay. Yeah. So if there was a student wondering, should I take them together? Should I take them separately? Would you want to give any advice?
I would recommend take them together.
Oh, okay.
So there's an advantage. So as I told you, there is like overall 50% marks.
Right.
So if you've got like a 60% in group 1.
Okay.
You can take the excess marks to get the overall figure in the group 2.
Okay, so say you got 60%, so you got 240 marks in group 1. You can take that, physically take that 40
and just
put it here and make your 50%
set
this.
It off.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, that's interesting.
So both groups is the way to go, and the ones who give one group, it's recommended to give group 1 because after clearing your group 1, you can start with your articleship.
Right.
And simultaneously do your group 2.
Right. Okay, so if there was a student who took both the groups together and for some reason didn't clear that any one of the groups or any one of the papers in that group, so do they have to repeat the entire group?
So if you get a 60% or above in a particular subject,
right,
you get an exemption, and that exemption is valid for 3 attempts.
So you have, let's say, 4 subjects in group 1. Let's say you got the 50% overall, but say in subject 1 you didn't get your 40%, and in subject 4 you got 60%. So this one sort of moves out into...
you don't have to appear it again.
So guys, you better be good at numbers to understand what he's saying. But okay, coming back to, you've cleared your IPCC, and what next?
So after clearing your IPCC, the major decision you have to take is your articleship. You should know where there is good work, where you're going to get the right work, and you're going to get a lot of experience.
Right. So there's this question that a lot of people ask is, should I work for a small firm, where I can get a little more hands-on experience, or should I work for one of the big 4 prestigious brand names? So what do you say?
So if someone wants to practice, he knows he wants to practice after completing his course, then I think he should go in for a small or a medium-sized firm.
Okay.
For me personally, I always wanted to do it in a big 4.
Right.
Because the kind of clients that you meet, the kind of exposure and the kind of people you work with, it's totally different in a medium-sized firm and in a big 4.
Right.
So the kind of personality development that you get in a big 4 is totally different.
Okay.
And one thing that students ask is about the time. You don't get time in a big 4. It's the same as in a medium-sized firm.
Yeah.
And all the big 4s, they have a set standard of 5 months leave, which is sometimes more than the leave that you're getting in a medium-sized firm.
Oh, okay.
And then in the 3rd year, you can go and opt for industrial training.
Okay.
So in industrial training, you can work under a chartered accountant in a particular industry.
Right.
And serve there as industrial training as 1 year.
For 1 year, that's fantastic, and it's optional. So you could either do all 3 years in an accounting CA firm, or you could do 2 years here and 1 year in an industry. So now you've done this. You've done your 3 years from, basically you did your BCom and a year after that, and you're ready to appear for the CA final. So again, are there groups in this one?
So there are 2 groups with 4 subjects each, and all of them are fairly quite large.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to be very, very dedicated. And again the same logic as IPCC.
So this time you took both the groups together?
No, this time was a separate strategy altogether.
Okay.
So it was a very risky strategy that I took, but somehow it clicked. So what I did was I studied for group 1, and then I aimed for the last subject in group 2.
Okay.
So that within the exam I get a lot of time to study the last subject.
Okay.
So I aimed for a group 1 and an exemption in group 2.
In that one subject?
Yeah.
And then you took the balance 3 subjects
of the next time. So I got lucky and I cleared all the 5 subjects.
Okay, so overall this was like a 5-year haul for you. And at the very, very minimum, how many years would a student take?
If you go clear everything in the first term, it would take 4 years.
Okay. Now tell me, what sort of strategies would you suggest to people, because they're really sort of struggling with trying to make all of this work for them?
Ideally, you should be studying whatever happened in the coaching classes, but that wasn't the case with me. It's quite hard to first go to the coaching class early in the morning and then work the whole day and then come study. But ideally, you should be doing that. It's just 20 minutes work. But what my strategy was, whatever you read, you have to do it 3 times.
Oh, okay.
In the exam leave, you are doing the 4th read.
Tell me another thing going forward. Does it matter whether they've cleared this in the first attempt, in the second attempt? Do sort of interviewers look at them differently? Does it really matter to them?
So yes, in the industry there is a view that first attempters are the front runners.
Okay.
Initially it does matter, but personally for me, every chartered accountant, whether it is first attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts, it's all the same.
Right.
Because there is a certain degree of luck also involved in clearing that CA final.
So at the end of 5 years, you went into a job. Now tell me that interview process. Is it very technical?
Yes, it is very technical. So although it is called a first job interview, for chartered accountant, it's not like, you are going for a first job interview, because there is a 3-year experience in your pockets. So you are expected to know a lot of practical stuff.
Okay.
So you should be very, very familiar with your technicals and very, very familiar with the subject that you are going in for.
Okay.
Whatever interviews I've had, they were like whole day interviews with 4, 5 rounds.
So looking at placements, final placements at the end of the CA final exam, does the institute help you with that?
So there are campus placements, so you can apply for it. You register for the placements, then there is a list of companies that the institute sends.
Right.
And they send our profiles to the companies. The companies, on the basis of profile, they select us, and we get a final list of the companies where we can appear for an interview.
Okay. And a lot of times, do you find that where you did your articleship, that company sometimes might be...
No. Mostly these CA firms do not come to these campus placements. But it's more about the industry, that the different industry companies in different industry, they come to the campus placement.
Which is where that 1 year of industry experience would help.
It counts a lot.
Tell me, now that you're looking at jobs, what are the various options open to you if having completed your CA entrance exam?
The most basic, I would say, would be audit and taxation.
Okay.
Because there are like tons of opportunities, and there is always demand for a chartered accountant in these options. So, and within that, you've got mergers and acquisition and direct taxation, indirect taxation, a lot of stuff is there. You can always go in for a consultancy company. And when I say consultancy, it means more into valuations or even investment banks. I myself did my industrial training in an investment bank. There is some regulation coming in for investment banks by SEBI that you have to be a professional in India to work in these investment banks. It's going to be a great push for it. Push for a chartered accountant, and they are not considering CFA as one of the profession.
Okay, that's going to give you a fillip. But looking at an MBA Finance degree as probably an alternative to doing a CA. Somebody watching the show, what would you suggest to them between the two, and how should they decide which one to take up?
So how people view it is like an MBA person he's more into managing the finances, and a chartered accountant, he's more into accounting, taxation, audit.
Okay.
There are a lot of subjects to our course rather than just accounts and taxation. So we are fully capable of financial management. There is a subject called strategic financial management in our course. For me, for what I think personally, we are at par.
Right. But you feel that there may be
in the industry,
some bias.
There is some bias for MBA Finance.
Okay. Another thing that comes to mind is this degree is sort of is it restricted to India, in the Indian context, or is it recognized equally as you go abroad to work?
Our institute itself, it has a lot of MOUs with other countries. They've got a MOU with Australia, New Zealand, Canada, even Ireland. And there is a lot of demand for Indian chartered accountants in Middle East. And the places that I've worked at, they were like foreign setups. So a lot of work was, I would say, outsourced came to India. So it is a quite recognized course.
Absolutely. It's a very, very well recognized course in India, and it's great to know that it's
it's globally recognized.
So Nikhil, from what I can see, it's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work. You've got to let go of a lot of things. For a CA final, I can say that you've got to put at least 15 hours of efficient studies in a day for 5 months. I can say that.
But tell me, what about your other interests, hobbies? How much of that have you been able to keep alive?
Not during the course, but immediately after the course. So somehow I've convinced my parents to buy me a bike. A Royal Enfield Bullet, the Dug Ride, and I did a 2,000 kilometer run with my friend.
Wow! From like where to where?
We started from Mumbai. We went to Jodhpur, Udaipur, and we did Mount Abu, and just took the whole round.
Whole circuit. And how many days were you on the road for?
We were on the road for 5 days.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the show. And this was one subject that was requested for very heavily. And I'm glad that you answer all the questions for us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.
And wish you luck in the future.
Mother will be proud.
Please click the subscribe button below. Like me at facebook.com/ChetChat101. Follow my Twitter handle, ChetChat101, or at Instagram, ChetChat101. Please leave your comments in the sections below. And if you'd like me to feature any particular college, please let me know. Thank you.